Shilajit is one of the most popular supplements right now. It's a natural resin that people use for energy, focus, and gym performance. Now it comes in a gummy form. I've said before that Shilajit resin is more potent than gummies, and I stand by that. But I know that gummies are just way more convenient. So I'm going to show you what to look for in a good Shilajit gummy so you don't waste your money on something weaker and maybe underdosed. When you do take Shilajit and it's working in your body, there are a few things you'll notice. And this is just from my experience. I'll get into what to look for in a bit. For the first 3 days, I personally didn't notice anything at all. And I started to think maybe it's not doing anything. But after that period, you should start to notice changes. That mid-afternoon energy dip that I would normally have wouldn't be as bad. I could train longer than usual without needing caffeine or a pre-workout or anything like that. One thing that I will say is that if you do start feeling it working, your appetite might go up. Because in my case, I was doing more in the gym, and so my body needed noticeably more fuel. Give it at least, I'd say, a week before you judge it. Like many Ayurvedic medicines, it builds up in your system. But when it does kick in, for me, it was worth it. Now the question is, how do you make sure that you're getting a good supplement? This is the thing with Shilajit gummies. Right now, the market is flooded with them. Everything's got a gummy version now. Ashwagandha, sea moss, apple cider vinegar, even creatine. If it exists, someone out there is making a gummy out of it or thinking about making a gummy out of it. And with that comes a lot of products that are more about the format than what's actually inside them. So there are a few specific things that I think you need to check. And these for me are the non-negotiables that should save you from wasting your money. The 4 things are fulvic acid percentage, testing, where it's derived from, and whether the label is transparent about what's in it. Fulvic acid is the main active ingredient in Shilajit. It's what you're actually paying for. A lot of the products I've seen online don't even tell you what percentage you're getting. And for me, that's an immediate red flag. If it's not mentioned, you don't know what you're getting, so just walk away. Second, third-party testing. And I don't just mean a brand slapping lab tested on their packaging. I mean an actual, real named testing lab. That's a real organization that independently verifies what's in the products that you're paying for. No named lab, no transparency. Third is check what the Shilajit is actually derived from. The ingredient on the label should specifically say Shilajit resin. A lot of cheaper gummies just say Shilajit extract or Shilajit powder with no detail on the source. Resin is what you want to see. That tells you that the gummy was made from the real thing. And finally, check that every ingredient has its own amount listed next to it. Some labels just group everything together without telling you how much of each ingredient you're actually getting. You want to see individual amounts, and that's the difference between a brand that's being transparent and one that's hiding behind the label. Those are your 4 checkpoints. With all of that in mind, I thought it would be useful to actually test a Shilajit gummy product out. See if over a few weeks it would feel the same or different as a resin. I've never tried Shilajit gummies out before, so I thought this would be a cool little test. I've got my hands on these. Now I think these are a good one, but there are some things that I don't like off the bat. What I like is that the label is clear. 3,000 milligrams of Shilajit resin per serving. A serving is 2 gummies. That's pretty high compared to a lot of the other gummies I've seen out there. 78% fulvic acid. That figure is on their website, though I'd personally want to see it on the packaging itself as well. That's something I'd push them on. Lab tested by Eurofins. That's a legitimate, reputable third-party lab, not just a badge on the packaging. Even though I can't test them myself, because obviously I don't have a lab, I know that Eurofins is credible. One thing I don't like though is that the actual lab report doesn't come in the packet, and I would want to be able to see that. And a good thing is that every ingredient on this packet has an amount next to it. It's not just a list of things. You can see exactly how much of each you're getting. And that's the transparency I mentioned. Now, there are some things I don't like, but most of them are fairly unavoidable when you're taking a gummy. Per serving, these gummies have 7.6 grams of carbs. It's also a multi-ingredient formula. It contains ginseng, ashwagandha, muesli, tribulus, and ginger alongside the Shilajit. Now, I don't think that any of that does you harm, but I just have my doubts as to the amounts included being high enough for you to actually feel anything from those ingredients specifically. If you do need ashwagandha to help with your sleep or maybe your stress management, I'd prefer to find a standalone KSM 66 supplement. I just think that that's going to serve you better and probably have more of an effect. But as an addition to this Shilajit gummy, it's not going to do you any harm. Would I say I felt the same taking gummies as I do with the resin? Honestly, no. They just don't hit the same. But the effects were there. It just took a little bit longer to notice them. If you genuinely can't get on with the resin, a good quality gummy like this is a reasonable alternative. My workouts felt great, just like with the resin, more energy and not any crash. I understand that they're more convenient, but I personally still prefer the resin. And there's something else that you have to be careful of too. They're kind of moreish. You need self-control to take these. These don't taste like Shilajit at all, not even a hint. I would take the recommended 2 gummies a day, and that little voice in my head would say, these are quite nice. What would taking another one do? And then before you know it, I've taken 5. Without any self-control, I could very easily finish this whole pack of gummies in a day, but they're supposed to last you a month. And that's the problem with gummies. They taste like sweets instead of something that's supposed to be helping you. So to answer the question of do Shilajit gummies work? In my opinion, yes, they do work, but they don't hit the same as the resin. They did take a bit longer to kick in, but I did feel the effects. And as with anything Ayurvedic, they won't work overnight. Anyone telling you otherwise just isn't being straight with you. Take time to find a good product. Amazon listings don't always tell you everything you need to know. Remember the 4 things to check: fulvic acid percentage on the label, a named third-party testing lab, Shilajit resin listed as the ingredient source, and individual ingredient amounts clearly shown. And if you need it, I will link to a good product in the description and on this QR code. This next one might interest you too. There's a supplement that can make you feel stronger, and it's 100% legal, so check it out. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.